So this video is going to be different than others. I'm going to show you a lot of footage that shows you context in the war in Ukraine in a way that you haven't seen before. My name is Gerdes. I'm just a professor. I'm trying to provide context in the war in Ukraine. I do these videos every day to help you understand what's going on. So we're going to start here. At least 12 people are dead, 10 more missing after a deadly explosion at the Plasmas military plant in Kopiesk near Chelyabinsk. Okay, this was last night or yesterday this happened, and I talked about it, and we said, like, we know this has happened. We saw images from a distance about the strikes, Ukrainian strikes on Russian. Authorities deny a drone strike and say a safety violation is under investigation because they can never admit that something actually happened. Well, what actually happened? This is some images from the chemical plant or arms factory or whatever you want to call the thing. Yeah, that's what's going on. Okay, now for strikes on Kharkiv's energy infrastructure, the response is coming to BNR. Just like the missiles on Belgorod, TPP, that's their thermal power plant, so too FPV drones on substations. There will be more. Sanitary zone will be expand, throw it on the power grid. So this is the Ukrainian response to what Russians have been doing to their thermal power. Look, for 3 years, the Russians kept going after thermal power. Finally, Zelensky said, look, if you attack our power plants, we're going to attack yours back. Like, traditionally, they haven't been going after that sort of thing, but they are now. A couple of days ago, there was this attack on a kindergarten. I'm going to show you about 20 seconds of this, 25 seconds maybe, so that you can see police body cam footage of what they were seeing when they were going into this kindergarten. Now, Che Bowles of RT was lying, saying that it was made up. There were soldiers there. It was at 4 a.m. It wasn't at broad daylight when children were there. No, it was. Clearly it was. This is the police body cam footage. Okay? My daughter is in there, right? Okay. Will I die? No. All will be well. Don't worry. That's a policeman responding to a child. Police body cam shows kids rescued after a Russian drone strike on a kindergarten in Kharkiv. Every politician in the world needs to see this. I'm showing you these things for a reason, to provide you with clearer context about what's going on. Immediately after the strike on Kharkiv, volunteers went to feed and support rescuers, utility workers, police officers, and all the caring people helping to deal with the aftermath of the Russian attack. I'm just going to show some brief bits about this. Yeah, they set these tables out. They were feeding the rescue workers. They're preparing it. They're setting it out in the street. Yep. This is where Ukrainians are. I'm going to show you where Russians are in just a bit. But Ukrainians are coming out trying to support these guys. Now, they're finding their place in the line, their place where they can be useful. Just like for me, collating the news and being able to explain it and try to provide context, that's my place in the line. Just like as you're watching this, your place is understanding what's going on so that you can explain to others and be informed, right? We all have different places in this, and that's what they can do to be helpful. Okay. No, what happened last night? Overnight, 128 Russian drones. During the night of October 23rd to 24th, Russia launched 128 attack drones, including 90 Shaheds. Ukrainian defenses shot down or jammed 72, 47 hit 10 locations. Not a great ratio, right? But it's not just drones. This is Kherson. Now, you know about Kherson and the human safari there where they're attacking with drones every day and that sort of thing. Well, they're shelling Kherson as well. This footage released by Russian military channels shows the shelling of Kherson this morning. The number of wounded has risen to 22. Among the injured is 83-year-old man who suffered a concussion and head trauma. Medics treated him on the spot. Look at all the spots. I just have this still. Right? Look at all the hits here. Now, I'm just going to move up down the line. I'm just going to still click this, and you can see all the incidents start to pop up. Look at the screen, and you'll see, right? This isn't video. Look at all the screen, all the explosions here. This is just a 50 to about a minute. That's a minute's worth of what you saw at the shelling in Kherson, right? This is what the Russians bring. This is Zarina Zabrinsky, and she's a reporter in Kherson. She has a video about the human safari and that sort of thing. Kherson, 7:30 a.m. The whole city is under massive attack, hiding in the hallway. At night, Russian troops attacked Kherson with Shahed-type drones, hit a high-rise. A fire broke out. A woman, 80, and a man, 52, injured. Okay, now, this is video that she's taken about it. Okay. My sources tell me 7 killed, 13 injured in Kherson today, to be confirmed by the authorities. It was a horrid day. Russians are trying and failing to break Kherson. They do a lot. They do kill a lot of innocent women and elderly folks while they're at it. They'll face tribunals. Okay. This is just a warehouse, lighting warehouse. Basically, in other words, nothing remains. It was hit in the attack that injured the grocery store owner. See, a shell landed right here. A man died here on the playground when it hit. This happened maybe six months or a year ago, but this is the damage just last night. Yeah.
Here's another destroyed building.
Yeah. I mean, this is what we see every day. Now, meanwhile, Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Zakharova says Russia will not pay reparations. This adventure will only prolong the agony of the Kyiv regime, which has lost its legitimacy and will receive no reparations from Russia. That's right. This is charming. Now, what else is going on? I have a responsibility to my animals, says an elderly woman. In September, American journalist, the one that you just saw, Zarina Zabrinsky, interviewed 84-year-old Lorna in Kherson. Lorna explained why she stayed despite daily Russian drone attacks. She had over 20 goats and felt responsible for them. Her house was destroyed by shelling. She refused to leave. On Monday, this past Monday, today is Friday, October 24th, Russian FPV drones struck Laura while she was walking with 2 of her goats. She was killed instantly, her legs blown off. Both goats died with her. One of the hardest deaths to look at in my 3.5 years of reporting on this war, Zabrinsky said in the aftermath. Lorna is part of what Kherson residents call the human safari. Zabrina's documentary, Kherson Human Safari, captures the unprecedented form of warfare. It's available free at KhersonHumanSafari.com. Just go and look it up. You can see it for free. That's Lorna. Russians attacked her. She's 80, and Russians attacked her. She says, I'm a shepherd. I'm chasing goats. That's odd. Not goats. They do chase cows. They chase cows. Not sure if they chase cows, but all the herders are gone. All killed. Were there many herders? Not many, but they're all gone. They're all gone now. Aren't you scared? Well, I'm ancient. What's there to fear? What should I be afraid of? They killed her. This is what the Russians are doing. Soldiers of Ukraine's 12th Azov Brigade intercepted footage from Russian FPV drones showing Russian operators hunting down civilian farmers and targeting agricultural equipment in Donetsk region. Another war crime added to the growing list of Russia's violations against peaceful Ukrainians. These are farmers just trying to farm their land. No military anything going on here. And Russians are attacking them with FPV drones. This is what's happening. You need to see it. Okay, let's look at the battlefield. 910 Russians off the battlefield. That's a little bit lower than the average. 1 tank, 5 armored fighting vehicles, 34 vehicles or artillery systems, 128 vehicles and fuel tanks. In the Покrovsk direction, Russian invaders conducted 31 assaults. That's pretty low for Покrovsk. Russian assault group tried infiltrating near Donetsk Dobropilia, the bunny ears area, at night, wearing heat masks, masking clothes, allegedly invisible to drones with thermal vision. Well, it turns out it's not invisible, and drones can see that very quickly. Okay. This lady is Rebecca Makarowski. She is an American medic who has been serving in Ukraine for quite some time. She's doing a fundraising video, and as she's doing the video, you hear a drone start to fly overhead.
Hey guys, it's Becca, and I wanted to say such a huge thank you to everyone that contributed to this fundraiser. It's so important for me when I see how much support is still coming in, because there's times where I feel really frustrated, really alone, and then something like this happens. You guys support, you help, and I can't thank you enough. I can't thank you enough. We made it to $20,000.
Listen to the background.
Over $20,000. And this is exactly what we really, really need right now. It's a hard time, and I really do not think I could support my units without your help. Fun fact, that is a drone flying.
Yeah, that's the reality of where they are. Cockpit view from a Ukrainian Air Force MiG-29 Fulcrum skimming just above the ground as it heads toward the front line on a strike mission. Why so close to the ground? So it's not picked up on radar. This is incredibly dangerous. You're safe higher in the air, so you have time to adjust, and whatever. Near the ground like this, you have only split seconds before something can go wrong. This Ukrainian is pretty lucky. Andrew Perpetua posted this. This is a Ukrainian who's hit by a Russian FPV drone, but it doesn't go off. It's not going to go off. It's going to hit him. You're going to see that, but it bounces off him because like the cord of the fiber optic got displaced or something. But wow, this guy here, look at this. He actually got hit by it, but it didn't go off. So what happened? Not only is he lucky that he got hit in the rear end, but the drone didn't explode, but he's also lucky that the warhead and fiber optic cable both separated from the drone, thus making it more or less safe. Otherwise, there would be still a chance that it could be manually detonated. But man, this guy was lucky. But this is the reality that soldiers face. On both sides, soldiers face this. These are Ukrainians that are like, they hear the drone coming in and try to get out of harm's way. Right. Russian occupation authorities have sentenced a 21-year-old Yana Servarova. The administrator of a Telegram channel, Melitopol, is Ukraine, to 14 years in prison. Remember, this is occupation authorities. She's a Ukrainian. She's sentenced to 14 years in prison for a Telegram channel called Melitopol is Ukraine. She was arrested in 2023. She was only 19 at the time. This is what Russians do. And this is a realtor in occupied Ukraine. And he's showing the virtues of this house. Why don't you want to buy this? Don't you want to buy this house? Look at this. They have everything here, right? The depravity, the cruelty, the barbarism of Russians in occupied areas of Ukraine can't be fully understood without seeing guys that make this Instagram videos to sell apartments of Ukrainians that were either murdered or have fled. Even sold with personal items. Look at this. You can get this. You buy this apartment. Look, there's a sewing machine. There's utensils by the sink. There are clothes up on the side of on the wall. Look at this. Isn't this great? This is what Russia's brought to Ukraine. All right, my friends, and I'm going to end on a happier note. In just 48 hours, Czech volunteers from Gift for Putin raised over $600,000 to buy a Flamingo missile for Ukraine's armed forces. Organizers expected it to take a week. The record-breaking result came in just 2 days. Well, if you name it Gift for Putin, maybe that was part of it. All right, I know this was kind of a lot. And I understand that, but I wanted you to have some real context. I do these videos on Ukraine every day. Please join me if you want to keep up to date. Thank you for watching this far. Tell me what you thought in the comments below. I try to read as many as I can. Thanks for the likes, the shares, and the subscribes. And thank you for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine.